Hi everyone, welcome to the first episode of the Mayor's Table for the year 2020. We're here today in downtown Farmington talking about the Community Relations Commission and the Civility First Farmington Initiative. Hey everyone, Farmington Mayor Nate Duckett here. Happy 2020 and welcome to the newest edition of the Mayor's Table. With me today is Larry Moore, and Larry is our chairperson for the Community Relations Commission. Larry, thanks for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, and we're in downtown Farmington right now at the Cosmic Cafe. We've kind of chosen this location for this episode because the downtown revitalization project has kicked off and is in process, but we want to make sure people know that downtown is still open. So we'll be doing a few mayor's tables this year in downtown businesses just to make sure people know what's here and to make that trip down to this area to support local business.
Super excited about that.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great.
This project's incredible.
Yeah.
Already now at the beginning of January, they've removed the trees out front
Looks great.
of the buildings, and you can see everything downtown. So
Yep.
just interesting how something like that will change the perspective. But Larry, we're here today. We wanted to kind of kick off the new year with our new Community Relations Commission initiative surrounding the Civility First Farmington program. So I wanted people to know what Civility First Farmington is, but first I want to tell them a little bit about what the Community Relations Commission does. And you as the chairperson, I thought nobody better to talk about it than you. So the Community Relations Commission, I believe, started in 2007.
Correct. Yeah, under then Mayor Stanley, we've been going ever since. But we are doing our best to promote positive community relations, dealing with cultural diversity, fairness, integrity, and just wanting to respect all people in our community.
Absolutely. Well, Mayor Stanley was a big proponent of trying to bridge the gaps, cultural gaps specifically, here in this area, obviously very rich and diverse area. So kudos to him for putting this program together. And over the years, the CRC has kind of transitioned and done some different things. I believe if you read the ordinance on it, it actually talks about people bringing issues before the CRC Commission and dealing with concerns of racism or intolerance of those things here in the community. And what I'm happy to say in regards to that is we haven't had a lot of those. Since you've been on commission, have we had those types of situations?
We haven't. I've been on the commission almost 2 years now, and we've had one complaint that's reached us. And so, I do overall feel like our community is doing a great job with just getting along together, celebrating people's diversity, and so it really is a great thing to be a part of. Really is a great thing to promote. Moving forward, going into the Civility First campaign, starting this year, we're excited about that as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, in the Community Relations Commission, for people to understand, we have a few advisory commissions that serve the council and the mayor. This is one of those, and people throughout the community, you can apply to be on the commission. You go to the City of Farmington's website and choose boards and commissions, and there's an application process there. We actually have a couple vacancies right now for individuals who might be interested in bringing positivity, being an ambassador to or outside of this community, but trying to bring people together really is what I see the CRC's role.
It is, and you mentioned we do have 2 openings still. If you're interested in that, again, get on the website, file the application there, and goes before the mayor and then before the city council.
Correct.
So we'd love to have a full commission.
They meet once a month. Important for people to know. They meet once a month. I think it's the first Monday.
First Monday at 4 p.m.
Okay. But just if people are asking, what does the CRC do? What's some things we did this past year?
Yeah, this past year we had a couple forums. One, we concentrated on mental health awareness and had a great time out at Kiwanis Park. A bunch of our entities from the city were there. We had a panel that was covering that topic, and so we also had one with the Farmington Police Department. Farmington Police have been amazing, jumping in and helping with what we're trying to do, and obviously I believe that they promote civility in all that they do as well.
Sure.
So those were our 2 main events for 2019. 2020, we're looking to do a couple more events as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the overall purpose, the Civility First Farmington initiative, which, by the way, I think kicked off 2014, 2015 under Mayor Roberts' administration, and we're kind of just done a rebranding of it. But the purpose of the Civility First idea is to promote positive relations and mutual goodwill within a diverse group of people who live and visit our community. And as we've talked here in the past many, many times about economic diversification and the need for us to be an attractive city for all people, for me, the 10 traits of civility are really critical as we look at that. So just as kind of a quick recap of the 10 traits, which are also, all this is listed on the city's website. Yeah. We have citizenship, compassion, consideration, courtesy, inclusiveness, kindness, respect, responsibility, sincerity, and tolerance. Those are the 10 character traits of civility. And I think it started initially as a business initiative. They wanted to get into local businesses and try and promote the idea of customer service being critical, obviously following these 10 traits, and they had Civility First stickers that they would put on businesses' doors.
Yeah.
Now we're trying to open it up to say this is a general attitude, obviously, that we would like everybody in the community to kind of adopt, because I think treating people with respect is just one of the common fundamental components of being a good human being.
Right.
But certainly in a community where we're trying to grow and bring more people in and leave a positive impression on them, these 10 things make a lot of sense.
They do. I think they're 10 powerful traits that we can live by. I think one thing that drives a wedge in between relationships is just really a lack of knowledge, maybe a lack of understanding each other's differences. And in these traits, I believe that we're going to bridge that gap. If we can just respect each other, no matter how we believe or what we look like, I think we bridge that gap and we begin to gain a little bit of knowledge of who each other is. Where when we're not willing to do that, fear comes in, different things come in, and so respect, responsibility, sincerity, tolerance, the different ones that courtesy, inclusiveness, consideration, compassion, citizenship. If we can be compassionate toward each other, I think we're going to look a lot different.
I completely agree, and I think it's from where I try and live my life and giving more than I take, and this idea that we can bring within the people who are around my harbor. That we had a great community service kind of a class that the chamber put on a couple years ago, and the gentleman who hosted it talked about people in your harbor. And if somebody's in your harbor, what can you do to make them have a positive experience with you?
It's really good.
And it's a real simple thing. I mean, it just might be a good morning, how are you today? Or standing in line at the coffee shop, or buying somebody's coffee behind you in the drive-thru. I always use the coffee shop component because a lot of that happens there. But it's a choice. I think it's a choice to live by these 10 tenets and to consider them on a regular basis. So this year, as part of this initiative, we are going to be doing once a quarter a focus on one of the traits of civility. Right. And for quarter one, we're going to be focusing on kindness.
Kindness, yeah. And we will have banners up on our poles coming into the city. And so be looking out for those. Just a real reminder to our community of just living a civility first lifestyle.
Absolutely. Yeah. Larry, I appreciate you being on here with me today. And one of the things I want to make sure that folks know, we do something called the Mayor's Citizenship Award, and it's tied in with the Community Relations Commission. And essentially, our goal this year is for every month of the year, we would like to recognize a business or an individual, an organization who's making a positive contribution to this community in some way. We've done this past year, I believe we did 4, maybe 5 of these awards. I'd like to get 12 in this year, but if you know somebody or an individual or business who is an ambassador for this city, who's exhibiting these 10 traits, or really good at one of these 10 traits, please get a hold of us. I believe we'll have a link listed on here for how you can email that information in to myself and provide kind of some background on what that person does that makes them stand out and makes them a great community member here in the city of Farmington. We'd like to bring those people into the city council meetings. We do a nice little award ceremony and recognizing what they do, and just kind of focus a spotlight on the people living the right way, in my mind.
I think that's great.
Yeah. Well, Larry, thanks for joining us. Is there
Thank you
anything
for
else you
having
want to
me.
add about the Community Relations Commission?
I think we covered it. Thank
All
you.
right. Yes, sir. Thanks for being here. Hey, thanks for joining us here at the Cosmic Cafe. Again, downtown revitalization is going on, but business is open down here in Farmington. And let's make 2020 the year of civility and make a choice to live with kindness here in the first quarter. Thanks for joining us. Tune in again for another episode of The Mayor's Table.